we're alive. So we're going to talk about how to get your wizzy. Promise I haven't been drinking. Get your witchy business to take off. Okay. So 5 tweaks you're going to make. I have everything written down so I can organize my thoughts. Number 1, appearance. Okay. Like I've said, it's easy to get wrapped up in the appearance of your website, for example, the appearance in your reels and shit like that. The issue is that it, like I say, it's easy to get wrapped up in that. That's the issue. People are taught that the way things look is going to always be the most important thing, especially women. Obviously, we're always taught looks are the most important thing, and that you're not going to get attention if you don't look good. And we're not doing that. So when you're looking at your website and you're on whatever it is you use, Canva, Wix, whatever. I had started out on ConvertKit and I really didn't like it because there were not a lot of options, and I did not like that at all. That was shitty. No offense, ConvertKit. I just didn't like it. And I left that and I went to Webador, and I love Webador. I can do a lot more with that. It's I love it a lot better. So you have to find the right website that appeals to you and has all the features you want and shit like that. And that's all fine and well, but like I say, don't get too obsessed with trying to get the colors right and things like that, because that was a mistake that I made. And I used to, and especially when I started, I would put the website together and like get online and ask my audience if they liked the website. I would get on there and do that because I had no damn sense. Like I would do that. And I would post a link and I treat my audience like they were my friends, and wonder why I couldn't make any sales. It's because I got there saying, "Do y'all like my website? Is it good?" And that was fucking ridiculous. I should have never done that. But I didn't make any sales for a lot of reasons. I was worried about that. I was worried about the colors on the website and shit like that, and what background pictures to use. And I was treating my audience like they were my friends instead of people who needed me. Instead of treating them like people who could use my help. That's not selfish, by the way. That means you know what you're doing. So when you're worrying about your image, like your brand colors and things like that, you don't have to have. There are business coaches that will tell you, "Oh, you got to think about what colors you want for your brand." Blah, blah, blah. You don't need colors for your damn brand. No one gives a damn what your colors are for your website. No, that doesn't mean anything. If you want to have a website with colors on there that are calming or welcoming or something like that, because that's what you like, fine. But don't spend 3 hours trying to get the right shade of purple or whatever. Like, do not do that. Don't do that. Finish the shit and be done with it. Because at the end of the day, the client who comes to your website and looks at all your stuff and reads what you have on there and like looks at things, they're not there to critique your color palette. They're looking at what you have to offer and if you're speaking to them or not. And if you're the person that they need to work with, and if they're the client you need to have. That's what it matters at the end of the day. And someone who goes to your website and loves your offers and does add to cart for all your shit, it doesn't give a damn what background picture you use on your fucking website. My business coach has videos like movement as the background picture. It's video footage of her moving around in the city. I love her. I love her. But I don't give a shit about whatever that video is in the background of her website. I don't care. I do not care, because when I go to her website, I'm looking at her offers. I'm thinking, okay, what do I want next? And there was one time when I got curious and I sat there and left her website on my laptop here on the screen. And I sat back and looked at it and I was trying to figure out what that video was. But there's words and shit in front of it and I can't even tell what the video is. But it's on there. And I got in touch. I asked her one time, I said, "Hey, who did your website? It's really good." She gave me the woman's name. I went to that woman's Instagram and I messaged her and I said, "Hey, you did so-and-so's website. It looks amazing. What do you charge for that?" And she said $4,000, 4 grand for that website. And I can't even tell what the video is in the background. And more importantly, it doesn't matter anyway. Do you see what I mean? So don't wear yourself out with that. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Appearance is good, but what you're saying in print or in spoken word is going to be a lot more important and a lot more memorable than what kind of font you use to get somebody's attention. So, and one of my first business coaches way back when, I like her, so I'm not going to say her name because I don't want her to get bad vibes or anything, but I actually do like her. She was telling me, she said, no, you need to use a different font for the opening sentence. And I was like, what? Why does that matter? And I had to try to find something. And she had me, I love her. I'm not going to say anything bad about her. I don't want to, but she had me go to some website and like type some shit in and then test different fonts. And I had to pick one. And then I copy and pasted it I was writing on Facebook at the time, and copy and paste it to the Facebook status that I was typing up and the post I was making. And I mean, I got signups from that post. I really did, which was fine. I got 2 calls from that post, but 2 coaching calls. But that's not. No one gives a shit about the font. It's not about me using the right font that day. It was what I said. So don't lose sleep over the appearance of your website. Communication. Like I've said, there are business coaches, mine in particular, the current one I have now, who I'm in love with, who specialize in messaging and what to say and what to say to the ideal client. And as many programs as I've already been with my coach I have now, she has not one time, and I don't mean this in a bad way towards her, it's not that, I love her, but she has not one time mentioned what I've mentioned. She says, you gotta talk to your ideal client. You gotta think about what it is she wants to hear. And I just thought, yeah, that's a good point. What is it that she wants to hear? And no one's gone over this yet, which is why I did a video on this, a little bit ago. And I said, your ideal client is a mystery woman to you because you don't know who she is. You don't know who you're speaking to. That's why you can't find the right words in your content to put out there. You can't figure out what to say because you don't know who the fuck you're talking to. And you don't know who the fuck you're talking to because no one has helped you go down that road and figure that out. The road is within. You go within and you find your ideal client, and your ideal client is the person that you used to be before you got help. That's your ideal client, the old you, period. That's it. Well, I could go into detail about it like fucking all day, but the point is, your ideal client is the old you. That's how you know who to speak to, because you know how to talk to the old you now that you're past that issue that you are now helping people with. The reason you're helping people with this particular issue and providing this certain solution that you provide now is because this is the shit that you needed and no one got it for you and you had to figure it out. Now you know. So go back and ask that old you, okay, so what is it that you really want? And she'll tell you, go into meditation, like I said. Get in there. You'll get your answer. You will. So, communication, the messaging, yeah, but no one has mentioned how to figure out who really needs to hear the damn messaging. You need to find a person that you can hold in your mind. And I've had business coaches tell me that to just create that person out of thin air in your mind, like a character from a movie. Just create it and imagine who it would be like in your imagination, and then speak to that person. I don't want to be a jerk and say I disagree, but I'm going to have to go ahead and just take the hit. I disagree. The person that you will really and truly understand well enough to be able to speak to their heart from yours is someone who has been through the same shit you've been through and is feeling the same exact way. And the only way to tap into that is to go back into yourself and say, now, what was it that I really needed to hear 10 years ago? Or what would I have really said at that time when I was hurting so bad and needed help and needed a solution? What would I have said? If I could go back and ask myself what end solution I wanted real bad, what would I have said? And that's how you get your answer. That is who you communicate to. And for some reason, no one has said that. No one's teaching that. I don't know why. So communication. Next, cleansing yourself. Do not bring any extra bullshit into your business, because your business is supposed to be a reflection of you. So there can't be any, you can't be demonstrating fears and shit like that. You can't be getting on there and talking about weird stuff that doesn't have anything to do with your business, and stuff that makes it sound like you're talking to your friends. I see people who think they're running a really good business, or they're at least trying to, and they get on there and they talk to their audience like they're talking to their friends. And they don't get in the right mindset of connecting with their highest self in order to present themselves in the right way, in a classy, sophisticated, intellectual, high-minded way. So instead, there'll be people who will get on there and I've seen business people who get on there and complain about life and stuff like that, and bring a lot of their personal life into their what should be business content, and instead it's just them, forgive me for sounding heartless, but it's just them whining, and they shouldn't be doing that. You cannot get on there and complain about things, and then the next post is going to be, oh, by the way, if y'all want to jump into my Discord, blah blah blah. No, don't do that. Your business page is not your therapy room. It's not your therapy appointment. It's not. You have to learn how to separate that shit. Do whatever kind of a cleanse you need to do to get your mind right, so that when you come to your laptop or your phone to do business shit, you are in the right space inside your head. And spiritually, if you need to do some kind of spiritual cleanse, a bath, a meditation, or whatever the fuck, go for a walk, whatever it is you want to do to bring your nervous system and your energy and your vibe and your mind back to center, and get your shit together before you get online and start presenting your offers and shit, then you need to do that. Don't bring other shit into it that isn't relevant. I don't know the times I've seen accounts that were supposed to be business pages, and instead it'd be one or two posts about business, and then the rest of it would just be like BS memes and shit shared from other pages, and shit complaining about life and whatever else, or maybe, a bit of poetry, like something about their hobbies or something like that, like other shit. It can't be that. You're going to have to keep this stuff separate. And then the private stuff about your life, like real shit about yourself, or a, video of your child or something like that. It's not a bad thing to put that on your page. I wouldn't put it all over your content, every day, but I mean, just once in a while, yeah, show them that you are human, that you do have stuff going on outside of business, but don't show like things you're disappointed about and your downfalls and stuff that's made you mad and stuff like that. People don't want to hear that. That's not, of all the times I've told you not to worry about what people think. Yeah, I know I've said that. But you have to be, this isn't so much about worrying about what people think type of shit, but this is more like you need to think about your business and it being an extension of you. And so you can take a step further and say, okay, my business is an extension of me, but it's an extension of what part of me? What level of me? What level am I in life? Where am I in life that I want my business to reflect out? You don't want your business to reflect your frustrated self, or your disappointed self, or your immature self, your immature side. You want your business to reflect your highest self and your highest potential and your most mature level and your most, the part of you that really has the wherewithal and has your shit together. That's the part you want to reflect out in your business, and that what you want your clients to see. Otherwise, it's not professional, period. Now I'll get on here and tell stories and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, because I'm don't have anything to hide, but it's not, but the business isn't, but half of my content isn't, me complaining about life or some shit. I don't have anything to complain about anyway. My life's pretty good, but if I did, have a bunch of shit to complain about, it wouldn't be every other post. You can put one little thing in stories once in a while, let it expire after 24 hours and let that be it. Just leave it at that. People are not there to see what's wrong with you on your business page. They're there to see how you can help them live the way you live and have the success that you have and have the peace that you have and shit like that. And you were going to get on there and show them how good your life is and how great you feel, and show them how the shit that they're struggling with can easily be fixed if they just listen to one or two things you've got to say in your offers, or to follow your instruction, or do it, whatever it is that they're supposed to be doing according to the gospel of you, and if they do that, and go by your solution, then their problems will be solved and everything will be all right and they'll get what they want. That's what you need to show them 90% of the time. Here and there, you can throw something in, that's quote unquote not relevant, but at the same time, you kind of need to make it relevant anyway, because it is. Because as I said before, your business and the way that you act and the way that you present yourself in your business is going to make you grow. If you're doing it right anyway, it's going to make you grow on the inside. Internally, you're going to grow, and you're going to unfold, and you're going to expand, and you're going to mature, especially mature. And everyone has room for maturity, growth, no matter who they are, because we're all human and we're here to grow and learn. So, there's not anyone who has reached the end and is still walking around. Like, if you're still here and alive on this planet, you have work to do. We all do. So with the business being an extension of you, and in particular, an extension of your highest self, that's what you need to keep in mind every time you put your hands on the keyboard. What am I expressing? What am I showing them? And how do I show them that this thing that seems irrelevant actually is not? Like, for example, even for myself, I do belly dance, in my free time, just because I love it. It's just, I fucks with it. Well, people don't even say that anymore. I don't know what happened to that phrase. Anyway, but I fuck with it. And a month ago, I did. It was a fundraiser for kids in the city, inner city kids art program, and it was a fundraiser for that. And it was at Trim Tab Brewery in Birmingham, and I had such a good time. I had an amazing time, and I thought about using that, and I was like, how is this relevant? How can I make it relevant? But it is relevant because if I'm my own boss, I have time to do shit I like to do. And therefore, I posted it and said, check this out. I wouldn't have been able to do this had I not been in charge of my own damn schedule. And that's how that works. So if you're going to put something that's, seemingly quote unquote irrelevant, you can make it relevant and tie it in and show that, it really is your business, therefore really is an extension of you. And that's how that works. I'll probably do a video later to go deeper into that, but that's just like the surface. Okay. Next, your offer suite. All right. When I started out, I had 1,000,001 offers on my website. That didn't work. That doesn't work. Not only was I not clear in my descriptions of what my offers provided, I wasn't clear, and also there were too many options, way too many options. I had just pages of shit, different things, just different shit. Because I was trying to cover so much, and I was trying to do too many things at once, and I had everything in one place, and it didn't make any sense. So once I realized that wasn't working, I got away from that. And I quit doing that. And now when you go to my website, my brand new website, I just redid the whole thing. Um, my new website, there's just a couple of things on there. There's 3 like actual offers, and then there's one thing on there that's just a free PDF. So, and I just did that just to do it because it's whatever, but the website now has 3 regular offers, and I'll add 1 or 2 more, but over time, what I'm really going to be doing is adding stuff to the offers that are already there and expanding them. So they'll be higher value. The same offers will be higher value as time goes by, higher value. And the price may or may not go up. I haven't decided that yet, but at least for the time being, the prices are what they are. Then later on, I'll probably raise them a bit, just because of what's in there. But I add to it as I go. My business coach does that. She has her offers on her website, and then she said one time that she adds to it over time. So it's like the library just expands. And I was like, "Dang, that's a good idea." So I'm just going to do that because it sounds good and I like it, and it makes my stuff more valuable, and it's just a good idea. And it's better to do that than have all this, like separate shit that's confusing, and like there's too many options. When people have too many options, they don't know which one is the right one. They can't narrow it down because there's just too much going on. They're overstimulated. So when you have your offer suite, when you're building that, have like 3 or 4 main big things, and then within each thing have a whole bunch of different stuff that they can look at. So you would do one offer, and it would either be, if you're training somebody to do something, you can have a bunch of trainings in there, and then it can have like branches or something like that, or playlists or whatever shit like that, different things, and it can be like real expansive. So once they pay for the offer, and then they get the link, and they're in there looking at it, they'll be like, "Wow, look at all that shit." There's going to be so much to look at, and that's fine because they've already paid for it, because what you described it as is what they wanted. So they said, "Okay, yeah, that's what I want. Pay now," or whatever it is. Do the credit card, done. They get the link and they open it, and it's just like they have their own library of all these goodies of yours or this, selection of all these goodies that they would have never been able to choose had it not been already prepackaged. You see what I mean? So it helps to be able to do that, to have the freedom to just do that, because they bought the package as it was because of how you described what the whole package does. And then they get in there, and it's just like, a Chinese buffet. So anyway, I wish somebody would do a Mexican buffet. Last but not least, the 5th point is going to be certificates. And here's the deal. In the beginning, I thought that I needed a bunch of certificates and things like that to make me seem legit. I thought I needed that to make me sound like I knew what I was talking about. So I went and took a bunch of classes and got a whole bunch of certificates, which is what you're seeing on that door right there. All that shit, all of that. Well, a lot of that is like before I actually started coaching. Well, this is medical. That's my IQ certificate. It says 138. I don't know if that's true, but anyway. Reiki shit, EMT. This is the combat medic certificate. It's not a real certificate. It's got his signature on there, and that's the only proof that there is that says I'm combat medic. There's no document. They don't do it that way. So that's that. And the rest of it's just other stuff, holistic health, whatever, more Reiki shit, stuff about the limbic system, and nervous system stuff, things like that. So, you can have it's fine to have all of that. Like it is, but it's not, You don't need that to prove anything. And people will have all kinds of stuff like that on their page. And I did for a while. On Facebook and on my website, I used to list like all the shit I was in, all the clubs I was in, all the things I had done, certificates I had, blah, blah, whatever fuck. I had all that stuff on there. And it when people are looking for a solution and they come to you, they are not too terribly worried about that. They're really not. They're more concerned with how you present yourself and what you're saying and how you communicate to them and how you speak to them and how you present your business and how you present what you think of yourself and what you think of your clients. That's what's important, not certificates. When you go to somebody's website and you're shopping for, if you go to Etsy's website and you're shopping on Etsy, you are not looking on Etsy to see if their license is up to date, if they're, and shit like that, and if they're following the laws for international shipping and stuff like that. You're not on there looking for that. You're on there looking for the thing that you want and to see who has it and who has the best version of it. That's why you're on there. So just keep shit like that in mind when you're building your website, is that they are not worried about your certificates and what your journey was like getting to where you are in order to be able to teach them. They just want to know, do you have the answer or not? And that's what you need to think about. So don't stress. If you want to put certificates and shit on your website, you can. It's not a big deal. It's fine if you want to do it. I'm not saying don't. If it makes you feel better, do it. But I'm telling you, in the long run, they're not worrying about it. Not like you are. You're worrying about it more than anybody else is. So just don't lose sleep over something like that. Okay. So we're going to leave it at that for today. I'll go into detail about these topics later on. We have a lot to go over, a lot of content coming your way, and I'm excited. I hope you're excited, and this is going to be one hell of a journey. So thanks a lot for stopping by, and I'll see you later.